Hello to my fellow Queen of Pentacles, to my fellow Virgos, and to any cross watchers. I am Brittany. This is our tarot card of the day, and it is extremely nice to meet you. Welcome to Virgo season. All right, all Virgo season, I feel very called to channel Celtic cross readings for the collective. These are going to be very specific yet general messages. So if it resonates for you, I encourage you to tap into the comment section, engage with me in this safe space. I would be so grateful for your community. All right. And then also, when you get on in here, please hit subscribe and share, would you? All right. I am enjoying that people are being exposed to the content, but if anything resonates, if you are feeling the vibes, please be sure to subscribe. All right. This will really help these messages to reach who they're meant for, and I would be extremely grateful for that as well. Now, this Celtic cross reading for the day, it it low key is maybe a little piggyback from yesterday's Celtic cross reading, but it's a little different in nature. All right, I am seeing where there is a new opportunity, something new, a new venture, something that requires a lot of that fire that I was already feeling. However, it's not something that you are 100% sure that you are attached to. Like, it's something that you really want to do in your soul, in your spirit. I feel like it's something that you may feel you have to do, an opportunity that you have to take. Now, it's going to lead to the end of a suffering or hardship here. So, like a means to an end. Like, that's what this is. And I'm also seeing where you could be very used to just doing whatever, hopping onto opportunities that maybe you did feel passionate about, that you did feel very connected to emotionally, like you were able to pour yourself into. But like I was saying yesterday, it might not have worked out for you. And so it's like you are changing your approach and doing things that feel safer, that are going to create stability for you, but that you may not really be wanting to do. And I'm tapping into something in the creative field. So this is something where you might be taking on a job or taking on a creative opportunity that you like, it'll pay the bills, it'll do what I need it to do, but it's not really something that I feel very connected to, you know? Um, but I do see where there could be some rooted worry in making sure that you have enough, where you could be really manifesting like a certain amount of money, a certain situation in your life to change. And you feel like this is a means to an end, like this is really a part of that. This is a part of the manifestation here. But there is something that over these last couple of days I've been feeling, Virgo, where we are needing to complete it. And so even though you may have to do what you have to do, it's like Spirit is wanting you to look at the things around you that are inspiring you and that can allow you to tap into what you are truly passionate about, even if it has to be a side venture. Okay, I feel like this is something that you are hoping will bring you abundance. You are wanting it to bring you abundance, but maybe you could be a little afraid that it's not something that you want to completely risk it all for. You don't want to shut down a certain opportunity that's coming towards you that could lead to a lot of possibilities because you have a passion for something else, right? So you could have a passion for art, but it's almost like you don't want to fully invest in being an artist and in sacrificing your job, sacrificing your sense of stability, because you feel very deeply that it will cause you more hardship, and you're wanting the opposite of that. You're wanting excuse me, to not be worried and anxious about how am I going to get this done? How am I going to pay these bills? Who's going to support me if I can't support myself? Like, who's going to help me raise these kids if I can't, you know? And I'm also getting that there is something very significant coming through about kids. All right. Something where you could have been worried, or you could be currently worried about raising your kids possibly on your own. Here is what I'm getting. So taking this opportunity is of the utmost importance, because you know that a lot of things are riding on you and the sacrifices that you have to make, even though this ain't a sacrifice you really want to make. Now, I feel like there is going to be a very difficult situation, or a very difficult realization for a Virgo here, that you have to conform. You are not going to like this, but you are going to conform. You are going to do what you need to do here. But just trust and know that whatever you have been manifesting is coming in. I am seeing that here for you. The manifestation is in the air. It's around you. Spirit has received it and it's happening. I feel like there is going to be some support that is going to come in. So you could have manifested a certain amount of money, or you could have manifested a certain opportunity that is one that you are passionate about, but it's not going to come in the way that you like it. It's going to come by way of another opportunity that's going to help you to sustain yourself, but it might give you a little bit more free time to not only be a parent and do what you have to do in life, but it's going to give you that free time to be able to pour into what gives you passion. You know, the manifestation is coming in a way that you are not going to really realize. All right, but it is around you. There could be some family members or a friend group or some people around you that are going to become willing to support you in your side venture. So even though you might like to create art and that's what you truly want to do, but you've got to work this job, you've got to raise these kids, you've got to take this opportunity to create financial stability for you all. It's like there could be some people around you that you've talked to in confidence, that you know, or that know what it is that you truly want to integrate into your life and experience. So they may start to show up for you, support you in different ways, so that you can have that time to pour into your passion, free and clear, not worrying about anything, or having to sacrifice your time to be able to do and focus on it, is basically what I'm saying here. And the one thing I love is that when I tap into the tarot card of the day, it's not a card that I'm choosing. It is a card, as I'm shuffling, that flies out with the intent that this is the tarot card of focus for the day. So essentially, the card is choosing me and choosing us as a collective. And it was the star card, which, as you read, is all about, hope and, holding on to the wishes and the vision that you have been given, the abilities that you have been giving. And it's like you were given the vision to do whatever it is that you feel passionate about doing, even though you weren't necessarily put in the proper environment to do it. But it doesn't mean that you can't do it. So if you're manifesting this currently, I'm feeling where Spirit is like, you are going to receive the support you need to be able to pour into this. You are going to get to a place where it is going to be beneficial for you. And, just to make this so visual for you, this is like me, right? So I wanted to have a lot more free time to be able to take care of my mother. And so I was choosing opportunities that I felt like would give me the time, and I was sacrificing a stable paycheck to be able to do it. But it led me into a couple of years of financial hardship and a lot of unjust suffering. Like, I was putting myself through so much that I didn't really have to, right? And so then last year I decided, all right, I need to hop on an opportunity that was presented to me that I found at a job fair that was going to create financial stability. There was great benefits. It was going to be, in my mind, the right hours that I needed to still be able to be there for my mom, to be there for my kids, to be there for my dream, right? In my passion, which is tarot and creating content and things of that sort. But I'm thinking that, or I had these high hopes that my side business and would flourish, and my side venture would flourish, and I would start my spiritual based business practice, and I would be able to not work, and go back to this, like, following my calling, so to speak. This didn't happen because I have not once seen substantial growth on any channel. I have not seen any substantial growth with any service that I would offer in a spiritual space to make money, to be able to sustain myself. So I have to stay at a job that I'm not really very passionate about, even though I go in there and I'm the best at what I do. Like, I do my job to the best of my ability, but I'm not passionate about it at all. I actually don't like the justice system. I've never wanted to be a part of the justice system, but I work at the courthouse. But this was a job that gave me stability. And it allowed me to be able to still be there for my mother, still do everything, but also still be able to do what I love. Okay? And so I don't do it expecting for it to sustain my lifestyle. But this is a part of the manifestation that I set for myself years ago, that I did want to have my own spiritual based business, and I did want to clock this amount of people, this amount of money, all of this. And so this is years in the making. Right? It's not something that was going to happen overnight, and it's not something that I wanted to just step away from or give up on because it wasn't manifesting the way I thought it would manifest. You see what I mean? And so what it has done, it has strengthened my connection to source while channeling these messages to the point where I can channel without even using a card. It has strengthened my connection to spirit. It has strengthened my connection on a personal level in my own spirituality. And it has allowed me to get more comfortable with content creation and really speaking and conveying the message better. Like, I have gotten eons better than I was before, and it's allowed me to connect with some people, which to me is more quality over quantity. And through my journey, I have found that a lot of people can be receptive, but maybe some people just don't receive me in a certain way, But I know that it's all moving me in the right direction, And so I said all of that to just show that sometimes when you do what you have to do, it doesn't have to completely erase or eradicate doing what you love to do, but you just might have to hold off on diving fully in, and not necessarily not trusting God, but really allowing yourself to trust yourself, because God has brought you this opportunity for a reason. It was one that was presented to you to solve a problem, or to solve or to end your suffering in so many ways. So it's not that this is not of God and that you can't just dive in. That's not everybody's story, to dive into something, because again, you may not have the support around you that others have. And so you have to focus on what God is doing in your life and not what's happening in other people's lives. And though I can't completely dive in, or I could, but I don't feel called to dive in fully, it doesn't mean that I don't feel called to cut this camera on and tap into my passion and my gifts, So no, conforming to this isn't the best thing. It's not necessarily giving up, but it's not it could seem that I'm not fully taking the dive, but I feel like I am taking the dive into what God is presenting me with and what God is doing for me. And it is fulfilling so many manifestations that just because they don't show up the way I want them to, they are showing up exactly the way I need them to. And that's what I feel like is channeling through this message and what is happening for you, Virgo. And it's a very powerful place to be. All right. Your sacrifices are not in vain. This position that you find yourself in is not in vain. It's giving you exactly what you need. But don't lose sight of the vision. Don't continue to, put your energy towards these manifestations. Speak positively over your passion and what it is. And then you will find that in the divine timing, you are going to be able to do what you love after having to do what was needed of you, right? You are of service, okay? It ain't always just going to happen out the blue. And you may think that something's happening for others out the blue, and it's not. You don't know what their service has been. So we have to look at putting our energy into the universe as service in whatever capacity spirit presents to us. All right. And so don't beat yourself up that you're not doing something you love. Don't walk into your job like, oh, I hate going in here, but I got to. Do it with the best ability that you have. Do it with the spirit of this is my service. Right? Do it with this spirit, and then do what you love with even more enthusiasm. Then you're going to find where the abundance is going to start flowing in. All right. Be grateful for every opportunity. Okay. Abundance of people, abundance of money, abundance of joy. All of this is going to start coming in. I loved this. I loved this. All right. I loved this. And I kind of low key hate to end it, but I feel like I'm about to start talking in circles. So I will end this here. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I truly hope and trust that I will see you in the next Celtic Cross reading. Happy Virgo season. I'm going to see y'all later.